please?
My name is Joe Mullaney. I'm the principal of Chelsea High School.
Hello. Does Chelsea High School currently have an anti-bullying policy?
We do. We have a policy that is a district-wide policy, and it really is based on what we do with. Actually, I guess you could say we have a bullying reporting policy. So there's a policy for when bullying is reported to us, how we go about documenting it, and then we need to include that information in reports to the State Department of Education. And we also, on occasion, use that information internally to help us in kind of thinking about how we can try to improve our efforts to stop bullying. I can't say that we have an anti-bullying policy or a program in place. And we don't have anything written down about what that looks like exactly.
Okay. What things can Chelsea High School and Chelsea Public Schools help to prevent bullying from occurring in Chelsea schools and Chelsea High School specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a couple different things. I think awareness is really, really important. I think that the best thing that can happen, and it's a tough thing to do, is to have folks who are being bullied to come forward and to identify the folks that are bullying them, so that we can then try to educate the bullies, so that they begin to understand the damage that they're doing. My guess and my understanding through experience is that sometimes bullying takes place and some students don't even know they're doing it, or they don't mean to do it, but it is happening. In other cases, it's very much intended, and folks are trying to hurt people. I think one of the greatest ways to try to combat bullying is really peer-to-peer. So I think that students are the most powerful piece here, and that if they can try to hold each other accountable and to tell people to stop when they see it, that can be so powerful. Again, that's tough to do because there's so much about our society is a lot of it is ignoring behaviors and kind of moving on and worrying about ourselves. And but I think if we're able to start to try to hold people accountable, we'll be successful with that. I also think that there's an education piece that we can do a better job with.
Okay. Has there been any students that came up to you and told you they've been bullied this school year or in the past year?
There have been. I mean, most of our reports of bullying go to our deans of students. That's usually what happens. Our deans of students generally deal with the discipline pieces that happen. I've had reports from parents, and so what we do is that we do an investigation where usually our dean of student will speak to the parent, will speak to the student, and there's a report that comes out of that. If we can identify a student who's doing the bullying from that investigation, then we have conversations with the student who's doing the bullying. We try to determine whether it's a case where there should be discipline that's involved potentially. And when it makes sense, we try to get all the students together so that we can begin to understand what it is that we're doing and how we're affecting each other.
On average, how many students report being bullied in Chelsea High School?
It's a higher number this year, Michael. I think we're doing a better job of documenting it. Last year, there were not a lot of explicit reports of bullying. I think that the awareness that has taken place over the last couple of years has led to an increase in reporting, and that's good. I don't see that as a bad thing in that, we have more bullying going on in the school. I think we're seeing more of the reporting that's taking place, and so I see it as, we maybe have an upward trend now, but as we continue to fight this and to educate, then that upward trend will turn into a downward trend.
Do you think bullying can lead to fights in Chelsea High School? Or cyberbullying
Absolutely.
too?
Sure. I mean, it's interesting because there's so many of our cases that are confrontational. And I'll put confrontations in with fights and/or fights or name calling and things like that that happen in the school are a result of a lot of what happens out in cyberspace. Things that are said on Facebook and other things that are said, and it's huge. And so, I think that some altercations, physical altercations between students happen, and I don't necessarily think they're from bullying, but I think that I don't know if there's a lot of altercations that come from bullying, because I think that, bullies, I hesitate to use the word smart, because I think that's kind of giving some folks a little bit too much credit, but I think that that bullies understand the power that they're exercising over the students that they're bullying, and so I think that bullying takes place because because the people that are being bullied are in a real difficult situation, and I think a lot of times bullies tend to choose who they're going to bully based on whether or not they think they can control that person, whether they're physically superior to them, that sort of thing. You don't see a lot of bullies, okay, who are 5'2" or 5'3" that are picking on the 6-foot tall, 6'1" person.
Yes.
Okay, because that's a much more difficult target to try to bully because they're imposing. And I'm not advocating for that. I'm just kind of saying that it's usually the other way around, where someone senses that they have a physical advantage or some sort of an emotional advantage.
Well, thank you so much for having this interview with me, and thank you.
My pleasure, Mike. Nice job.